G'day, guys. Welcome to episode 68 of Beyond the Finish Line, the podcast for runners of every pace, every distance, and every goal. My name is Matt. This is Georgia. This episode is all about trail running and how to train for your first trail race. Georgia, how you doing, mate?
I'm so well, thank you, Matt.
16 seconds, by the way. New record on the intro.
I
Nailed
was
it.
going to say to you, how do you feel doing the intro after probably, 8 intros
It's
you've
been
not
probably
had to do?
2 months since I've done one, yeah.
Does it feel
I forgot what I
good?
said. I was like, what do I do with my hands?
As I was watching, I was like, oh, I wonder if he's going to stuff up our little saying that we say every episode.
Do you know, whenever I think about it, it all falls apart. I just
Yeah.
gotta shoot from the hip.
Yeah, you really just got to press go and just hope for the best.
Hope for the best, yeah. That's it.
No, I'm feeling really good. Thank you. I feel like my 1 week post iron infusion, I'm feeling a bit better, which is nice. I feel like yesterday and today I'm slowly feeling a tiny bit more energy as opposed to just feeling like I've been hit by a bus. So that's quite nice. But other than that, same old, same old. How about you, Matt? How are you feeling 1 week on from UTA?
Yeah, I was pretty sweet by Tuesday. Like, to be fair, outside of my foot, everything was basically back to normal. But yeah, lots of physio and rehab on the foot for the next couple of weeks, and then we'll be good to go.
And last time we spoke, you were waiting on some results of a scan. How did that go?
Way better than we thought. So
Yay.
Originally when I finished the race, I thought it was broken.
Yeah.
By the next day, we realized it probably wasn't broken because there was no deep bruising or anything.
Yeah.
So 2 torn ligaments and a cracked third metatarsal, like a hairline fracture. So
Okay.
2 weeks in a moon boot, and then I can start slowly building back up as long as my foot's strapped.
Yeah. And did the cracked metatarsal, did that come from the torn ligament? Did it tear off a little piece? Is that what happened?
You know what? I didn't ask.
Oh, because same thing happened to Nick. He, had a grade 2 torn ligament or whatever, but it actually pulled a piece of bone off when it tore. And that
Interesting.
Oh, I know.
It might
so
be
cool.
might be hard for them to tell because I also ran 50 Ks on it. So we don't know how it happened. Yeah. But he did say, he was like, the fact that you ran 50 Ks on it, it's in really good nick. I was like, fantastic. Let's run with that.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around how you you kicked a rock, right? Like how you did what you did by just kicking a rock is, yeah.
It just must have been the angle and the force and whatever, just one of those things.
Oh, I feel like I see the gnarliest ankle injuries in trail races, people posting content about it, and then they run and then they're slow-mo on the ankle rolling and I'm like,
But you say that, but knock on wood, knock on the old melon there.
Yeah.
Never fallen over, never tripped, never hit the deck while trail running, only stumped my toe. I mean, I've stumped my feet heaps of times when they get tired and they start dragging, but only really whacked it once. This is the only real injury I've ever had from trail running.
That's a pretty good run. Again, let's all touch wood because we don't want anything to happen.
That's it.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad it's not as bad as you thought, which means that, Gold Coast Marathon and stuff is okay.
I probably won't run Gold Coast Marathon.
Oh, you're not now? Okay.
Athlete Matt says yes. Coach Matt is you have Ironman Western Australia at the end of the year and you need to prioritize that.
Smart. He's also very intimidated by the fact that he might not beat me.
And
I will still be the fastest marathon runner on this podcast.
Did you not see me get bullied on TPP Community? When I posted it, I was like, if anyone wants my ticket, they can have it. And then everyone, Ryan, Keisha, everyone was just like, you're just scared of Georgia.
I need to jump on and see this. I haven't been on today.
Yeah, no, you got tagged in it, and I was just like, I put in this stipulation. I was like, I'm pretty sure Georgia and I agreed it has to be an Ironman marathon for it to count. And everyone was like, nah, too bad, fuck it.
I love how much the community gets around me. They're like, nah, stuff you, coach. You suck.
Yeah, I get fucking roasted. I was like, peer pressure's real. I think I said to Ryan, I was like, I'll fucking drag this dead foot around in under 4 hours if I have to. I'll be fucked, but I'll do it.
Because you'll still be able to do it with a fractured foot.
Don't poke me, Georgia.
No, because I don't want you to race. I'll be quiet now. Because I don't want you to race. I want you to be a smart coach because you need to do more important things.
I've got I've basically got 6 months until Ironman Western Australia, so I will be focusing on that.
Yes, and it's only like what a month and a bit until Gold Coast Marathon, 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's the 5th of July, so yeah, probably 5 weeks.
5 and a bit, 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, how exciting! We have a
Mm.
huge crew going up to Gold Coast. I was writing the itinerary today for their training camp, which is exciting. I'm very jealous I can't go to that.
Mm.
And then they all head up to the marathon as well together, which will be nice.
Yeah,
For
training camp's
FOMO.
gonna be hectic this week.
Yeah. So besides obviously the foot being better than
Mhm.
you thought it was going to be, give me your highs and lows for the week.
Highs and lows. I think my biggest one is like I'm actually using my foot as a bit of a blessing, because I can forces me to have a rest, and I've like really lent into it, like zero training, no strength training, no nothing.
Yep.
I always call my week after a race fat week because I just do whatever I like. Like I stay up late, eat whatever I want, don't care. So it's been fat fortnight, which has been even better.
Nice.
um, but yeah, so just focusing on work, focusing on Sam. Obviously we got training camp this weekend, but yeah, I mean they're my main two and getting healthy. So they're sort of my three priorities for the next 4 to 8 weeks, and then we'll start to ramp things up for Ironman Western Australia. So,
Good. Now
and
this is
no lows, no lows.
no
Just that.
lows. I love that. I was going to say a prompt I asked in our community the other day was tell me three things you're grateful for at
Mm,
the moment. And I wanted to ask that on the pod today so that maybe everyone at home can be, well, whoever's listening, they might not be at home, but maybe they can use this as their own way, have a bit of piece of the TPP community and they can think of their own three things. But what are
mm.
you grateful for this week? What three things?
Oh, I don't remember what I wrote in the post.
No, that's okay. Just what are you grateful for in this moment?
I'm definitely grateful for I do remember I wrote this. I am grateful for my ability to push my body and mind harder than I ever think I'm
Yes,
capable of.
you
I
did say
remember
that.
that. I remember I was one. That was one of them. Um, I'm super grateful for, and this is cliche, but TPP. It's like it's honestly changed all of our lives. Like how much it's developed and grown and all that stuff. And I will be forever ever grateful for anyone who's participated in it from beginning to end. And third, I mean, obviously Sam, but that sort of goes without saying. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
I
they're
think,
my three.
you're very lucky. Sam is amazing. So, but, I'm sure, I hope she knows that. But yeah, good, amazing.
Sam's in a weird spot. She is like forever second on the list.
Oh.
No, but no,
She knows that though. Like she's fine with that.
yeah, I was gonna say she kind of know what to sign up for because like she knows if she tries to take me away from what I'm primarily focused on, it's just not going to go well for her because I'll just be
Yeah.
not wanting to do whatever she wants me to do. So she is second, but she is always second. So I think that's actually a good spot.
Well, yeah, second beyond these big wild dreams. It's not like it's second
Yeah,
beyond a random person
yeah.
that
It's not like I'm going out drinking or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
going out with the boys, bub. You'll be right.
Oh, good.
What about you, G? Talk to me. Actually, guys, we're about to learn. I had to stop our pre-recording conversation because this is Matt's pregnancy facts this week, and I'm really excited for this one.
Okay. Well, I no real highs and lows besides like obviously feeling a bit better, which is good. Or actually on the weekend I managed to get a run in, which was super fun because I haven't been like had any energy in the last 3 weeks, I think, since I've run. So I just kind of put on my big girl pants and I went, okay, you don't have energy, that's fine. Pull it together. You've been through worse marathon blocks than this, so you'll be fine. So I taped my belly and headed out and I got 4K in and I'm so proud of myself. I think I've shown myself that I have a lot of adversity with training for marathons and things and I can get through that. But, this is a whole different thing. So I'm very proud of myself for that. So I want to acknowledge that. No lows. Hard to be anything to be low about at the moment. I'm happy. I'm healthy. The baby's healthy and kicking a lot, which is amazing. Having a dance party every day, which is super fun. But yes, today I was saying to Matt that before I jumped on the pod, we had to push the recording back a little bit because I had a female health physio appointment. So they help with things like pelvic floor and, help you prep for birth, but then also they're an incredible source post-birth. So not everyone has access to that, but if you do, they're incredible and I highly suggest using them. But Matt then said to me, what did you say?
What's pregnancy physio?
Yeah. So I didn't realize this before I got pregnant. Well, they're not technically just a pregnancy physio. They're a female kind of anatomy, female health physio. And so the main difference, and I didn't realize before I had went, thankfully someone told me, otherwise I would have got the shock of my life. But the main difference is they work mostly internally. So for the girls listening, it's a bit like getting a pap smear. It's not uncomfortable because they're amazing professional people and they talk you through it and they very much make sure there's a lot of consent and stuff like that, like just checking you're okay and all that kind of thing. But they work on like your internal muscles, your pelvic floor, all the different things that are happening there so that if you are wanting to give birth, I guess, quote unquote, naturally, then it helps with like tearing and things like that. So it just kind of makes sure that you're fully prepped for that. But like I went and saw mine because I was getting really horrendous tailbone pain. I couldn't sit down. I just was like, I'm in so much pain just sitting, and it was really frustrating me. And she did some internal work on me and released whatever muscle it was that was kind of aggravated from being pregnant. And literally the next day I was completely fine, could sit, and it didn't bother me. So
you gave me 107 guesses. I wouldn't have guessed that. No.
So yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because if you've never been to one, like a lot of, say, like if women have, even if you're not pregnant or something, if you have problems with like incontinence, maybe from running and stuff, you might find when you're out running that you're like leaking or like, you might accidentally wet your pants or something like that. They help you with that. So they help you like strengthen all those muscles up and stuff like that. Or, like for myself, she was talking about how I had all that bursitis and I have all of the glute issues and stuff. She goes, sometimes that can be internal. And I actually had a couple of followers tell me that that it could have been caused by that. And as soon as I went in, she was like, actually, yeah, it could have been. If you had have kind of come to a female physio, we could have helped you sooner and maybe, release some sort of tension that was happening there. So it's very interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
Like I said, never would have guessed.
Yeah, so now you know.
Now I know. Write that one down.
Yeah.
I just wanted to leave you hanging on that. I was just like, Georgia hates an awkward silence.
I'm like, are you gonna say something?
I was just happy to let it sit there, mate.
Thank you.
No worries.
Do you want to know 3 things I'm grateful for? Or are you going to make me sit here in silence for a minute?
We can do the things you're grateful for. I thought you did them straight after me. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah, look, I'm very grateful for this podcast. I wanted to say first up because I had an email today, which I haven't even mentioned to Matt, of like a pretty decent, like a big brand who emailed me saying, they knew about our podcast and they wanted to chat about potential things in the future and stuff like that, which was really cool because I was kind of like, wow, that's really awesome that a really big brand has noticed, our little podcast, which I mean, after 68
excuse me, we were number 6 in Australia last year. Thank you very much.
Well, that's what I was about to say. After 68 episodes, I feel like we're not little anymore.
Yeah,
but,
that's it, yeah.
I'm so grateful for everyone who messages me because a lot of the time now people say, I've been following you for ages and I absolutely love the podcast. I came from your socials and then I started listening to the podcast, or a lot of our TPP community listen to our podcast. So shout out to everyone who messages or our community who says hi, because it honestly does mean the world. And then like I said before in my highs, I'm grateful for happy, healthy baby and just life is so cool. I'm just really enjoying everything that is being brought my way at the moment, especially with being able to run, and I just think the female body is so cool. So I'm so grateful that I'm able to keep moving my body and doing all the things that I love while also growing a small human.
Yeah, wild.
Oh, the other day I felt a foot, which was so cool.
That's fucking creepy, dude. I'm not about that.
So I was sitting at work. No, at work, I was kind of where I was, but I was sitting and I was like, oh, what's that lump? Me completely forgetting I'm even pregnant. And then I realized that where I was kind of pressing was like a little oval shape, and it was probably the size of what their foot would feel like. And then when I like kind of pressed on it, it moved, and I was like, ah! And it was a foot. I was like, that's so cool.
I don't know. That freaks me out.
Matt's sweating. He's like, shit.
Yeah, that's the fucking. I'm not about that.
It is. My brother's the same. I was at his house the other day and I was like, do you want to feel the baby? And he was like, absolutely not.
No.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Not about it.
We'll move on.
I trust you there's a baby in there. No worries, mate. I don't need to feel it.
Oh, all right. Well, off the back of your episode last week, which had some great response from everyone, you guys all loved listening to Matt's UTA recap, his 100-kilometer race.
Can I just say how lucky BTFL listeners are? Because I still haven't done a recap on Instagram yet.
God, and we're like so famous.
I was like, my original plan was I'll post it on the podcast, and like the next day I'll do a post, so then like people can stop messaging me, and I still haven't done it.
No,
so,
well,
the only recap available.
It is the only recap available before the doco comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed during the week you did a question box and all these questions, and I was like, these guys don't listen to the pod because all of these questions were answered. So I'm like, drop a link and just be like, sorry guys, you gotta listen.
Should have. But minute 47 right here.
Yeah, right here. Oh, come back to me when you've listened to the podcast.
Yeah, that's what I should have done.
Oh, so an awesome recap. I absolutely loved re-listening to that. As always, I listen to our episodes to make sure everything's all good. But it was really cool to listen to, and we had some great feedback in our DMs from you guys saying how much you loved it. So we actually had a question in our DMs about training for a trail race. And so we thought that would be a really great follow-on from Matt's recap, and we can talk about that today, and how the training kind of differs from, say, training for a half marathon or a full marathon on the road versus training in the mountains, and how that can fit into your lifestyle. So talk to us, Matt, about maybe a little bit about your training. I thought might be a really great place to start, and how, training for that differs from other kinds of training you do.
Yeah. It's a good question. So, like, I think most people, when they're first starting out in trail running, they like what we do with most things. Actually, we just overcomplicate it. We just think like, oh, I've got to get all this vert, or I need all of this gear, or I need to go find these really tough trails. I need to go out to the Blue Mountains or whatever. And it's like, it's actually just really, really simple. It's really like very similar to starting to train for anything, where we just want to get some exposure to the stimulus that we are trying to create. Now, you just got to break it down into what is the stimulus, which one is running and one is trails. So not all of your running has to be done on trails. You can do your normal runs that you would say for a marathon, a half marathon during the week, and then just go out on the trails on the weekend. You don't need to be doing 6, 7, 8 hours on the trails. These like ridiculous long trail runs. Like you can start with 30 minutes. You can start with an hour. You don't need all of the gear. You could go with a water bottle and a hat, and like that would be plenty. And then as you get further and further, then you can like slowly accumulate gear. And as you get more exposure to the trails, then you can decide if I want to just do like a very basic like bushwalking trail, which is very safe, normally very flat. Or if you want to start doing fire roads, and then into single trail, and then into like proper climbing and things like that. So yeah, baby steps.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big things that I never realized, and you guys can jump back. We did a couple of really great trail running episodes last year. I might get Matt to link them in the show notes of this episode, but in those, I didn't even realize there was so many different types of trails, and that some trails, obviously, and it sounds like it's a little bit no-brainer, but maybe other people are like me, where you didn't realize, like I didn't realize those things like fire trails, which is still considered a trail run, versus like, is it goat trails, goat tracks?
Goat tracks or single track, yeah.
Yeah, single track where they're more technical. There are races out there that are a lot more flat as opposed to like really steep descents with like lots of stairs, like maybe the Blue Mountains. UTA races are a bit more like that. And so those episodes are really great, but I just want to kind of refresh some of the stuff that we spoke about in those. And so if you're just beginning into trail running, like you said, you don't need all of the gear. and you don't have to really commit straight away. But what
Mhm.
maybe is, say, some key pieces that you probably wouldn't start trail running without, that maybe doesn't have a huge investment behind it?
When we say starting trail running, does that mean we've signed up for like, a 10K race or 20K race? Or are we just literally putting feet in the water? I'm going to go run on some dirt and see if I like it.
I think this is kind of like, you've maybe been on a bit of a trail where you're
Mhm.
like, okay, I don't hate this. I
Mhm.
want to explore this, but I'm not ready to sign up for a race yet, because
Sure.
a race is quite a commitment. You have
Mhm.
a timeline, you've really got to commit the time and money.
Mhm.
What would you say people would need, if they're just going out there, maybe they want to start doing a trail run every second weekend or
Mhm.
something?
First one would be like proper shoes, proper trail running shoes. So 5 years ago, trail running shoes were fucking awful. Now, basically, or at least all of the big brands, Hoka, Asics, Saucony, Nike, you can basically find the road running shoe equivalent with
Yeah,
tread on it. So, like, very, very comfortable. They do make like trail shoes, like Solomon's and things like that are
yeah,
super trail specific and a lot more rigid. You don't need to jump to something that extreme. You can just get like essentially a road running shoe with grip on the bottom. That would be my first investment. And then after that, it's just like the only thing limiting you is your ability to run further. So then we need to start looking at a vest, like a trail running vest. And you don't need to get one like I've got, like a Solomon one that's, I don't know, a few $100s. You can get really, really cheap ones off Amazon for $30, $50. They take a couple of chest flasks. They normally come with a couple of chest flasks in them. And then it enables you to be able to carry more fuel, more fluids, and you can run a little bit further, a little bit further. So
yeah.
that would be my first two, and I guess flask would be three bits of kit.
Yeah, and it does make sense when you say when you want to start, it limits you from running further.
Mm,
And a trail running vest, you see lots of people just running on the roads with them. So
for sure.
even if you do, say, buy a trail running vest, you don't have to then feel guilty if you're like, oh, actually, I don't know if trail running is for me. You can use it on the roads.
I use it on the roads all the time for my
Yeah,
long runs. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I had one and I bought it purely for running on the roads, and now I love that I have it, that I can take it on trail runs if I wanted to go do that. Like, Matt and I went on a trail run together last year, and I could take that with me, and it made me feel like I was a bit more prepared because I had some space. I
Mhm.
think the only difference, right, is with a lot of kind of really trail specific ones is they have a bigger space in the back, don't they?
Yeah, so that just leaderage, like any sort of backpack, suitcase, whatever. So, for example, I've got quite a big one for UTA because of all the mandatory gear. So that'd be a
Yeah.
12 liter, but they make an 8, a 6, and they might even make a 4.
Hmm.
A 4 could probably take a couple of flasks, snake bandage, some fuel in it, and maybe like
Packable
a
jacket or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so at what point do you have to start looking into more gear? Like, is there like a distance or a time? Maybe you're like, look, maybe after running for 2 hours, you need to start looking into extra stuff.
When you say extra stuff, what do you mean?
Well, like you mentioned, obviously, for if you're wanting to just dip your toe in, we're
Hmm.
getting new shoes potentially just for our ankles and for grip and stuff like that, and maybe
Hmm.
a vest and some flasks. At what
Hmm.
point do you need to start looking into, extra things like trail specific gear?
Oh, honestly, like not until you commit to a race.
Okay.
Um, I think I did my first 50K and I didn't even own trail shoes.
Yeah, I see lots of people online running without trail shoes
Yeah,
for
I mean, I would
things.
definitely wouldn't recommend that. Like as soon as you
No.
change to trail shoes, for sure, do that. Yeah, I just had a vest and like some flasks and like I rocked that for ages just because I
Yeah.
just like trail running. Yeah.
For sure. I was lucky to be gifted a pair of trail shoes a couple of years ago. Bless them for thinking I would use them. I think I've used them like 3 times. But I have to say that the difference is incredible. Like
Yeah.
mostly just for the ankle support, and like
Yeah.
obviously the grip is really
Hmm.
helpful. But the ankle support, because a couple of times I like nearly tripped over and I was like, thank God I had proper shoes on.
Yeah.
And mine have those laces that you like turn the little thing and
Oh,
it
yep. Yep. Yep.
dials it tighter or
Hmm.
whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, I look, I think if you're going to invest in something, you could maybe even look on like Facebook Marketplace and getting a pair secondhand,
Oh,
because
yeah, for
you're not
sure.
you're not worrying about how much time has been put into them if you're just going out on every second weekend or something.
Mm.
Oh,
That's the other thing about trail shoes too, is like you don't need to watch the kilometers in them the way you do road shoes. They're just so
oh,
much this. They obviously have that upper limit, but like they're
hmm
just so much more resilient. The foams are so much more denser because of the ankle support, because of the tread, because of what they're designed to go through. They're mostly waterproof or water resistant. Like they're just a far more resilient product. So they will wear down like any shoe, but like trail runners aren't logging how many kilometers they've done in it on Strava to make sure that it doesn't burn out. Like they'll just be like, oh, this hurts my feet now. I will change them.
classic. Trail runners are so chill where,
Yeah.
road runners are like, I need new shoes.
Well, like my Hoka Speed Goats, I did all of my COSI prep, the COSI race, all of my UTA prep, and half of the UTA race in them. And I'm like, I probably still got a couple of months left in them. So that's thousands of kilometers.
I didn't know you changed shoes halfway through. Did you say that last week?
Yeah, when I thought I broke my foot, I was just like, I need a new pair of shoes that had heaps of padding, and
Oh,
I strapped my foot, put the shoe on, and I didn't let Sam touch my foot after that.
that's right.
Yeah, because I was meant to change socks a couple of times because like new socks make you feel like a new person.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no, everything's fine, all good.
So does trail, this feels like a silly question, but whatever. Do trail runs have shorter courses like 5 and 10K, or is that kind of no one really does that sort of thing? Like what's the
Uh,
smallest course?
UTA had an 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, most of them will have like an introductory to trail kind of run
Yeah.
around that 10 to 15, somewhere in that ballpark for
Okay.
sure.
I feel like that is a nice first race would be a 10. Like I would sign up for a 10 to 15 trail race if
Mm,
I was like nervous about getting out there.
for sure.
Yeah. So if we signed up for that as your first one, you got that, you like that, and then maybe people are thinking about signing up if you're from New South Wales, or maybe not New South Wales, but what's it like? I've been curious to know what's it like at UTA? Like, do you think it's in the Blue Mountains? Do you think it's like Australia's premium trail race? Is that kind of one that people should want to do at some point?
It's definitely like the Sydney Marathon equivalent, right? Like it is the biggest race in Australia in terms of trails.
Yeah.
Just for like perspective, like the race hoodies that have everyone's names on the back.
Yeah.
COSI had every single race on one hoodie,
Okay.
and they were just different colors, so you could identify it. UTA had a full hoodie for every race,
Wow.
so it's like an order of magnitude bigger. Um, there are like limitations with COSI in terms of how many people like Hunt Park, different conversation. But like UTA is the biggest by far. It's like the Australian Championships. It is the best qualifier for UTMB. Like it is the biggest one for sure.
Okay, that was going to be my question. Is so when you say that, because I know obviously with certain Ironman races and stuff, they're the ones that you can qualify for Kona.
Mm-hmm.
So you can qualify for UTMB if you get a certain time at UTA?
So I am not fully up to date on how age groupers qualify because there's a running UTMB is a ballot and you need a certain amount of running stones. So you get like a certain amount of stones based on your performance, based on how many races you run. It's a whole system I haven't dived into yet because I'm nowhere near doing it,
Yeah.
nor have I had to coach anyone who was close to doing it either. So I haven't needed that information. But I know UTMB, you get double the amount of stones that we did COSI. And a lot of people, I think all the podium got guaranteed tickets to UTMB.
Okay, cool. Stones is so hilarious. I love
Mm.
that. It's such a classic
Yeah,
trail running thing. Like
yeah, it's
it's
just like what
very
what do we got? We got some fucking rocks, all right. Polish them up, mate. No
We don't
worries.
need anything fancy. Here's a
Yeah,
stone.
legit.
Oh, I love it. Okay, and so let's jump back to like your prep for UTA 100, or maybe just like a UTA or a big trail race in the
Mhm.
past. What are the kind of things you've learnt in this race compared to other races, and maybe some things the listeners might, be able to take home from that?
Just in terms of like generic trail running or like say COSI to UTA.
Mm, I don't know. Maybe both.
Okay.
Hit me
Um
just like what have you learnt from this race that you can maybe take on to the next one, as well as like what are some things people can keep in mind when they're signing up for big kind of ultra races like that?
okay. I'll start at the shorter distances and then I'll work my
Fab,
way up.
love that.
So yeah, I would say if you're doing that 10 or 11K, as long as you are sort of generically fit, let's say you are sort of, you can obviously run the distance and you sort of train consistently, you'll be fine doing 10 or 11. It'll be a very different experience because generally speaking, they will put like a pretty gnarly climb in there and it'll probably be right at the very start or right at the very end. And it's really just to be like, this is what trail running's all about. So fucking, we've only got 11Ks to show it to you, but you're going to get it and you're going to get it hard and fast.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's not runnable. A lot of it, that's probably, that's probably the biggest. If I give any person who's thinking about starting trail running or doing their first trail race, and this is something my brother-in-law told me when I first started, it was called run the runnable.
Yeah.
And that just means like once the hill gets a bit steep, start looking because the damage that you do trying to run up that hill ain't worth it. And when we start extending that distance longer and longer and longer, the toll you pay is higher and higher and higher. So it's just like, well, yeah. My dog just knocked over something.
Oh, it does. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, he's fine.
It does. Yeah, it is definitely a mindset shift. I think
Mm.
when you go from running on the road to running, in the trails, and that's something that I had to really work on. Was when you're out running on the road, you really want to push yourself to not stop. It's a lot of people say when they first start running is like, I want to be able to run X amount without stopping, and I get that. That's such an achievement for you and stuff like that. But when you're out on the trails, you're guaranteed to stop, and no one is like, oh, they stopped. Like there's no shame in stopping on the trails, which is, like you said, run the runnable. If it's super hard, you don't actually have to run it. You can just walk it.
I mean, like the 22K at UTA, 14 kilometers of it is uphill. Like if you are a newer trail runner, even someone like me would probably struggle. I put myself in that intermediate kind of category. I would struggle to run that whole thing fresh. So it's like, it's just a very, very, very different mentality where people don't really care. They just care that you're out there doing something hard. So it's a whole different community, culture, everything.
Okay. That's good to know. I like that little snippet, like little tips. I think for people starting out. Okay, cool. So then, going back to what you've learned and things like that. Walk us through it.
Yeah. So run the runnable, big one.
Yeah.
Then as we start getting a little bit further in distance, my next sort of key one would be hill repeats, but not just. I think when people coming from road running, they think running up the hill. I would encourage people, and if I could have known this early in my career and banked a lot of it, I would have been a really, really different runner right now, and it will translate to road running as well. But hard run up the hill, pausing at the top rather than walking down, and then harder run downhill. So we're doing up and downhill reps. I think that is in that 20 to 32K distance, I think that's, if you're that sort of skill level, sort of working your way up to the 100 or the miler or even the 50, that's an invaluable thing to have because the biggest limiter towards the back end of any sort of trail race is not your cardiovascular fitness. You're not like breathing heavy. You're not pouring with sweat like you would at a marathon. It's your muscles are starting to break down and you physically can't take the pounding, like the impact on the mental blank then on the trail. Couldn't think of the word. And then going uphill, if you're trying to push off and your muscles are deteriorating, there's just no drive and you just go very, very slow, very, very quickly, and you sort of fall off a cliff. So that would be like my next level of trail running prep.
Yeah. So I like what you said there where you like running obviously uphill people do it and then they kind of like jog back down the hill and then they do the really hard uphill again. But running down hard, like that's people would
really
forget
trying
about
to
that.
land with like a flat foot and you try and get that slap that like puts that shudder through your quads and that like really stiffens everything up and gives it a lot of stimulus.
Okay, cool. What's any other tips you've learned along the way?
I'd say the only other thing at the 22K level would be we're really starting to work on nutrition now because you're probably somewhere between 3 and 5, maybe even 6 hours for a 22K race, depending on the course. Like took Sam 4 hours. maybe if I did it, I might be low 3s or 3 hours, something like that. So even the guys who won it, they're going to be out there for over 2.5 hours, so they're fueling as well. So yeah, this is where we're starting to like dial in race fueling. And I know George has referenced this on the podcast previously, but not a lot of gels. Like we do
Yeah.
take gels, but we're definitely thinking more about whole food and different food options outside of gels and different carbohydrate intakes, because it is such a long event.
Yeah, and some of those might include like just some things that I can think of off the top of my head. Matt mentioned last week, Vegemite sandwiches are really
Mm-hmm.
big in the trail running community, high on salt, which is really good for that cramping. Some amazing things that I know I've had in the past with this sort of thing have been like dried fruits is really good out
Mm-hmm.
on the trails, dates, dried mango, dried apricots, all those sorts of things. Lots of muesli bars. A lot of
Yep.
people have muesli bars, or even like Cliff bars, which is another
Mm-hmm.
thing. People who make Cliff blocks and Cliff gels and stuff, they do proper trail running stuff as well. But yeah, it's a lot. I feel like it's possibly a bit cheaper on fueling because you're not paying $5 a gel. You're buying a bag of dried mango that might be $5, and that will get you
Yeah.
through quite a few hours. So yeah, plus, I mean, in trail running races, you guys have the most epic aid stations ever.
Yeah. Noodle cups, Coke, fucking sausage sandwiches. Yeah, we got a lot going on. Chips.
Oh,
Yeah.
I kind of want to just do it for the aid station.
Georgia just stops at aid station 1 and doesn't leave.
I'm just having a sausage sanger.
Keep them coming. Got to fuel up.
No, don't skip the onions. I love it. Okay, cool. So that's kind of like your 22K.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we're stepping into the world of ultras, which is that
Mm-hmm.
50-kilometer plus mark, what sort of things do we need to start thinking about?
Yeah, this is where we're really starting to look at, probably got to start doing some race research, and because every ultra offers its own different challenges. It's kind of the reason we do it is like, I always make the joke like, people think Sydney Marathon is a hilly marathon. I'm like, bruh, it's 300 meters of elevation, over 42 kilometers. Like, we're fine. Like,
Yeah.
relax. And then like, I'm going to do Gold Coast because it's flat. And I'm like, at the end of the day, you run on a flat bit of road, no matter which race you're doing. So they're all kind of the same.
Yeah.
Whereas like UTA, for example, renowned for its stairs. Kosciuszko, renowned for like the weather, and obviously you literally climb Kosciuszko. There's like the Guzzler in, I think it's in Queensland. Can't remember, but that's like got brutal elevation.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Noosa Ultras, which is just, you're just hot and humid, and you're just like running through rainforest and brutal in its own way. So heaps of ultras just offer, they're just so different. It could be the same 100Ks, but worlds apart. And just time of year, right? Like there's summer ones in the Blue Mountain, winter ones in the Blue Mountains. Completely different races, even though it's on the same course. You got to prepare differently. So when we start talking about ultras, really, really getting race specific and starting to add things into your training that will benefit you. So this is where I'd probably invest in the next bit of kit, which would be some trekking poles. I use the black diamonds or blue diamonds or something like that. If you type in diamond trekking poles, they'll come up.
Yeah.
And you'd want a quiver that connects to your pack. So quiver's like $20, just Solomon ones. They just connect straight to your pack, and they just go like over the back of your shoulder. That's just because obviously you don't need your poles the whole time. You don't want to be carrying them the whole time.
Is it like a sling, a clip? What is that?
A quiver, like like what Robin Hood puts his arrows in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like
Yeah,
a sleeve almost.
Yeah, it's a quiver. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know what a quiver is. It's the first time
Yeah.
I've heard that word.
Yeah, like what archers will put arrows in behind their back.
This is a podcast, Matt. No one can see you.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to Georgia.
And I'm talking to the audience because they're all probably just as confused as I am.
Well,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
I do see people carrying them sometimes, like in like a side pocket or something, because they collapse
there's
down.
a few different ones. Yeah, they're all telescopic or foldable. Like
Yeah.
S bend, so like they can disconnect in 3 parts, and just like they're on the string on the inside of it,
Yeah.
so you could just, they don't fall apart. Yeah, there's like ones that go on the bottom of your pack, ones in the side. The quiver's the easiest, like most beginner friendly, and like 99% of people use quivers anyway.
Cool.
So the easiest.
The easiest, which is what we love. We all need
We
the
love
easiest option.
100%. There are also like heaps of. You could just go to Anaconda and buy super cheap trekking poles for like $50.
Yeah.
If you're just starting out and you just want to see if you like using trekking poles, great option. Personally, if you're going down the trail route, I would just invest in good ones. Like even if you're doing the only want to stop at 50s, I would still invest in trekking poles. Like Sam used trekking poles for the 22. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about testing them out. I would just find the right size and buy those ones.
Yeah, I also feel like if you're doing an ultra, you're probably a bit more invested than just
Mm.
dipping your toe in. So
For sure.
if that's something that's super important, it's best to invest in really good gear.
Yeah.
Also, like you could also go to an Anaconda or a bigger store that has Salomon or whatever brands, but you could get fitted and then see if you can find a pair cheaper on Marketplace. Maybe you can
Yeah.
save some money that way. If you're like me and you like just kind of buying stuff that you know hasn't been used by someone else or damaged or whatever,
Mm.
you could save up and get a pair. But yeah, I think once you're past that 22 and then you're heading into the 50, it's worthwhile getting the gear.
Yeah. And again, I might be the same as you, Georgia. I think if I am buying gear for a race and I
Yeah.
care about performance, like I want to know that it's been looked after. I want to know like they're obviously the kind of the things that you take a risk on with Marketplace, which is all part of the game, obviously. But
Yeah.
I couldn't think of anything worse than being 60 Ks into a race and the carbon just snapping or it coming
Yeah.
unattached or whatever, and then you're just sort of up shit creek. So yeah, when we start talking about like ultra, I'd be like, all right, let's just invest in good gear.
Yeah. And when we're hitting that ultra distance, you also have to start thinking about mandatory packing lists. And that comes down to
Uh,
a lot of races, right? They all have different packing lists.
Yeah, most 50s won't have a mandatory list outside of like a snake bandage.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Maybe a thermal top or a rain jacket. Maybe. I've done a lot of 50s with no outside of a snake bandage. Like the foil blankets.
Mm-hmm.
What are they called? People know what I mean. You see them at the end of marathons.
Yeah, we know the ones.
Yeah, but basically that's been the only mandatory gear for a lot of them.
Oh, so they don't require you to have like a spray jacket and certain things like that?
Some do, but like the majority of 50s I have done, it's basically basic first aid gear, snake bandage, something to keep you warm.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to have like 2 liters of water on you or 2 liters of fluid and like proof that you've got, 2 gels or 2 muesli bars or something, like stuff that you
Okay.
would just be carrying anyway.
Right. So you don't, it's not, I don't know why. I just thought from 50, you kind of had to have like head torch and all this like crazy stuff.
No.
Oh,
The only reason head torch would be mandatory is for like we're starting, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or there was reason for them to think you'd be running past,
no.
past 4 o'clock, I think is the cutoff. But if you're starting at 6 a.m., you'd be done by, even the slower people will be done by 2 or 3 o'clock.
Okay. So, yeah, look, guys, in the previous episodes we did, one was on just trail running and one was on like ultras. Matt definitely deep dives a lot more into that mandatory gear stuff. So we won't get too into that right now. Okay, cool. Anything else we should know about the, bigger distances for trail running and how they're different?
Okay, yeah. So I think the biggest misconception, let's just do 50 to the 100. And I haven't done a mile yet, so we're going to cap it at
Yeah, let's cap it
at
at
the
what you've
miler.
done.
Yeah. Although I am coaching my first miler athlete, which I'm very excited for. So that she's going to do Kosciuszko miler. Shout out Izzy. I probably have to jump in and pace for it, which will be fun.
Yeah.
The biggest thing, we actually had, I remember Ryan, OG listener, wrote in with a question and said, I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but basically he said, like, you run 36 Ks in preparation for a marathon. Why don't you run like 80 or 90 in preparation for an ultra?
Okay, yep.
And basically the answer is total recoverable volume. And I think this is where people really get it mixed up. If we're training for 100, probably not going to do many runs sort of over a marathon or maybe 50 Ks. You might, if there is a race available, jump in and do a 50 miler, which is 80 Ks, as like your peak week, and then you would
Yep.
go straight into taper. But realistically, uh, you're kind of wanting to bank big running weeks versus individual long runs. So I'm always trying to hit at least 100 kilometers a week. And if I can get over that, awesome. But realistically, if you look through my UTA prep, I would have liked to be a little bit different in hindsight, but we're obviously dealing with the injuries, but nothing really longer than 42. Most of them sort of the high 30s and just sort of stacking consistent long runs. So that's the biggest difference is we're trying to accumulate volume rather than specificity. Where in
Yeah.
marathon, you're trying to get as much time at marathon pace, as close to marathon distance as possible, because you're sort of sitting on that limit. Whereas UTA or trail running, excuse me, is all about just consistently moving forward. Obviously, it changes the more competitive you get, but just speaking generalities.
Yeah, and that would be, I guess, is that the total recoverable volume? Is that more because trail running, there are a lot of times where you are walking, you're not necessarily running the entire time, so you don't need to have like a 8 hour run completely running? Is that
Uh,
why?
uh, Part of it, yes.
Okay.
Second part of it is um, if I go out and run 70 Ks, let's just say on a Sunday long run, go out and do 60 or 70 Ks in preparation for UTA, and let's say I'm 8 weeks out, the chances of me being able to run on Monday or Tuesday, very, very little.
Hmm.
And if I can, like it's going to be a really shit run. And then I might be able to get something in on Wednesday, might be able to, a little bit more on Thursday, a little bit more on Friday. Now all of a sudden I'm back to the weekend. I've had 3 kind of half-ass days at training, and then I've got
Yeah.
to try and go another 70 or 75 Ks. And then that sort of, I'm not recovering, I'm not absorbing the fitness. Where if I was to run, let's say 25 on Friday and 40 on Sunday, I've accumulated 65 Ks, but my body can handle it, can recover it. And guess what? I can probably by Monday afternoon, probably get a really, really good run in. So when we talk about recoverable volume, I always think about it as like, how much training can I do and still be able to train the next day?
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And yeah, because I guess you don't want to wreck yourself for the entire week. And
Mm,
then, because like it would be like you running on the trails, your muscles would just hurt so much. And then
yeah,
trying to get back out there and do another long
exactly.
run.
And essentially, that would be like become your training week. Like you would do your 50 Ks on Sunday, and then the next Sunday you would do 55 and then 60 or whatever it is, but you would be doing nothing in the week because you'd just be recovering, preparing for literally another ultra marathon.
Oh my
So,
gosh. Yeah, that's
yeah.
so true.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay, cool. What else have you got for us? Anything else we need to know?
I thought we'd finish on something interesting that I haven't shared before.
Yes.
I did my UTA, my personal UTA debrief, and I use a lot of AI for my personal stuff, just not to give me coaching cues, but almost like a journal. So I'll
Yeah.
just like word vomit to it, tell it everything, break it all down into checkpoints. Sam takes notes while I'm racing. If I tell her certain things or like what I'm eating, what I'm not eating, etc. And we put it all into like we're using Claude, so put it all into Claude. So then next year when I go to do UTA again, um, we can look at this and go, cool, this is what went well, this is what didn't, this is what we need to change. So,
I
and
love
then I'll
that.
take 2027's information, I'll put it on top, and then we'll start to build this like database of different things. And my plan is actually to, when I refine this, is to roll it out into the performance project. So every athlete can have their own and it'll all go into our database. So then in 5 years' time, we have an athlete who's like, I want to do UTA. And be like, we have this 30 athletes who have done UTA. We have this database. We can pull all this information for them.
Yeah.
So it's
So cool.
a real long term play that we're doing with TPP. But back to this.
No, do you know what? I feel like that's a really good use of AI. And I feel like
Mm,
a lot of people don't realize that they can actually use AI for really awesome things like that. Like people, you're asking it questions and, oh, hey, rewrite this email.
mm,
Whereas, like, that's a really cool way that people can implement that into any kind of training. So
yeah.
I love that. So tell us more about what you put in and what it kind of gave you this time around.
Yeah. So basically, I I said, gave it everything,
Mm-hmm.
and I brought out 10 training priorities where I thought that I was really lacking. And some of them were because of injury, some of them were because of, and that sort of affected my prep all the way through. And some of them were just like, in hindsight, I probably didn't do enough of this even if I was healthy.
Yep.
So, number one was muscular endurance. And this sort of goes back to what we're talking about doing back to back long runs. Because of my tendinopathy, I really wasn't able to string back to back long runs together. So, potentially doing something on a Friday and then something on a Sunday. Or you could
Mm-hmm.
do Saturday, Sunday, where Saturday is your longest run, Sunday is something slightly shorter, maybe like a 40 and a 20 or a 30 and a 15, something like that.
Yep.
Um, and including in that is harder tempo efforts. So we don't really use tempo and threshold and stuff in trail running, but let's just say like a 6 or 7 out of 10 sort of effort while on the trails. Still, that if that's broken up by hills and there's walking in between that, that's fine. But rather than walking maybe right to the very, very top of the hill, the second you feel like it's runnable, like you sort of back on the gas.
Yep.
Um, so that was that one. The next one would have been stair capacity. Now, I actually found the stairs in UTA pretty chill. I didn't think they were that bad. I was quite happy with them, but I wasn't able to like attack them. My whole mentality going through it was like, you need to protect your quads because if you blow your quads up, you're not going to get up the stairs. So I would like to have the confidence to be able to attack the stairs rather than being conservative, because I think I lost a lot of time there, regardless of injury.
Just
So
quickly on
one,
the stairs, sorry.
go for it.
I know all I see on the stairs is like people in like imagery and stuff I see
Mhm.
online. Is there kind of parts in the race where you are on a set of stairs alone, or a lot of the
Oh
time
yeah,
do you have to walk it because there's so many people?
no, yeah, trail running's this weird thing, right? Like I don't know how many people did UTA, like maybe 1,000. I don't know,
Hmm.
multiple hundreds. And there'll be stints where you're looking around, you're like, "Am I on the course? Like, there is no one here." Like,
Okay.
yeah, happens all the time. And there was like times anyone who's gone to the Blue Mountains and does like the cliff walk, and then you sort of drop down under the Three Sisters and sort of go through the canopy and everything. We run all through there. So like there's times there where I was by myself with one or two other people.
Okay.
Um, a lot of uneven stairs, a lot of really steep like metal staircases. Um, yeah, definitely. You're definitely not. People is not your limiting factor. Definitely
Okay.
not. Yeah,
Okay, cool. I was just
but good
curious
question.
yeah, like if you could actually attack the stairs, or is
Mm.
it like you're forced to walk it?
Maybe on some of the shorter races where it's a bit more condensed, but definitely
Hmm.
not on the 50 and the 100.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4?
Number 4, sustained uphill running. This was a big one for me where I I am generally uphills are my weak spot, but I'm a very, very good descenter. Like even on technical terrain, I can fucking bomb it.
Hmm.
Um, so something I probably didn't give credence to was the length of the climbs at UTA, where some of them were 3 or 4 kilometers long. And just a consistent 15 to 20% incline. So just 500 meters of climbing with no reprieve. So probably doing some sort of consistent uphill running for 20-minute blocks, something like that. On the downhill side of that, downhill running. So again, talking about protecting my quads, one thing I wasn't able to lean into, which is one of my strengths, is running downhill and running downhill hard and fast, because I was so concerned about protecting my legs.
Yeah.
So that those two together are 4 and 5. 6, and this is a one that I never really consider in prep, and it's probably something I am going to take moving forward, is
Hmm.
power hiking. When we start talking about the 50s and the 100s and the milers, a lot of walking, like
Yes.
probably 40, maybe even 50% for some people, maybe more, where you're just hiking along. Again, like we sort of talked about those tempo efforts, being on the poles, but like I'm moving. I'm not just sort of
Yeah.
walking. I'm fucking hiking. Um, I was really put in perspective. My brother-in-law, Brenton, he started in the wave behind me. He was half an hour behind me. and he caught me at 98 kilometers, and
Wow.
he went past me like I was standing fucking still, like just gone. I was like, I'm gonna stick with Bren. 30 seconds later, couldn't see him. Like he was just hiking, and I know, like foot, leg, all the things doesn't matter. Even if I was fit, I can't walk that quick. So
So
that
instead of
was
taking it like, walking at a normal
mm,
pace, you're really like thinking about, okay, I'm going to try and almost like, would you almost say you're almost running? You're not quite
yeah,
running. You're like
probably
really power walking
as
it.
close as you can get to power walking or slow jogging. Yeah.
Okay, that's so
Uh,
interesting because I
mm,
would not. I would have thought like with trail running, it's like you walk or you run. There's no real in
yeah.
between, but it makes sense. Why would you not power walk it if you
Yeah.
could?
Yeah. And like, it wasn't, I thought I was power walking. I thought I was moving well until he went past me, and I
Brenton
was
dropped
like,
you.
yeah, Brenton just went past me and made me look fucking stupid. And I was like, noted. I'm going to put that one in the old memory bank. Um,
Matt does not like being shown up by someone. He's like, absolutely not. That's never happening ever again.
ever, ever, ever.
It's really got you there, didn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah. Oh, I like it that I learned something. If I had just
Yeah.
gone past and been like ego and been like, fuck him, like, I mean, it's his fourth time doing it. He knows the course, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, um, yeah, if I had just had that ego thing and not learned something, very different. But,
Yes.
yeah, so there's that. Specifically for UTA, I think, because I'm only 2.5 hours away from it, this is number 7, guys. I would make the effort to go down and probably spend 5 or 6 weekends down there and really break the course up and like run, say, the last 22 Ks, run it 3 days back to back to back.
Okay.
And just like really nerd out on that section. And then the middle section, go down a different weekend and just run that middle 30 Ks 3-4 times and just sort of understand it at different fatigue levels. So that's a big one. And going back to what I said about like course specificity, if you can get on course and get around it at different times of the year, different weather conditions, invaluable.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is such a big one. And as you said, that was obviously for UTA. But if you're doing a local trail running course, a race, sorry, near you, like
Yeah,
jump
it's
out.
applicable to all of them for sure. If you can
Yeah,
get
for
on
sure.
course, yeah.
Yeah, and like even with road running guys, like that's so helpful. For me, that's why I love Sydney Marathon so much, is because I know so much of the course like the back of my hand, and
Mm-hmm.
I can get out there and I know what to expect exactly when I hit this corner, or like as soon as I see this thing, I know, okay, I've got to run uphill a little bit longer. It's so invaluable to get out there and actually experience the course, because the hardest thing is being like, where the hell am I? What am I about to do next? You don't know what's coming around the corner. So
Yeah.
love that. Very important.
Yeah, 100%. Number 9 is strength training. Now, strength training was a little bit all over the shop with this because I would go from a strength block into like a rehab for a certain
Yeah.
muscle group, and then I'm like, cool, can go back to strength training. Something else would break, and like I just couldn't get any consistency together. I don't think I know strength training is kind of the underlying factor under everything in ultra running, especially when we start talking about huge inclines and declines. But really putting in a big focus into strength training for probably the next 9 months.
And so with the strength training, this is actually a really good segue into just
Mm,
really quickly. I noticed last week we spoke about week before, no, marathon series. We spoke
mhm,
about key important strength training exercises that people should be doing. And
mm.
so I am going to ask you what some key ones are for trail running. We actually both forgot to mention in the marathon one that calves is really important.
Oh, yeah, arguably the most. Yeah.
I know. And someone commented on our reel being like, as if you missed out on calves. And I was like, oh my God, we did. It's
Yeah,
so important.
yeah, massively.
So guys, if you did listen to that episode where we spoke of, it was the 4th episode in the series. It was the questions episode. Someone asked us about really important marathon
Mm.
exercises to do in the gym. Please don't forget your calf muscles. We both
Unless,
had
of
a brain
course, you are
fart.
calfless. Yes.
Yeah, unless you just, I don't even know. Like, there's no other reason why you would forget it.
Yeah.
We both had a brain fart, so
Yeah.
please forgive us. We're really sorry, but very important for trail running as well.
Mm.
What else is important to not forget about? Because I feel like you're definitely using different muscle groups.
Uh I wouldn't say you're using different muscle groups. You're just training them differently. Like I
Okay.
would say in road running, we're trying to get that bounce. Like when you hit the ground, you want to bounce, bounce,
Yeah.
bounce. Like you want them to be strong, responsive. With endurance training, with strength training for an ultra, yes, we do want a bit of that plyometric training. So we do have that responsiveness. So if you trip or whatever, you do have a bit of that fast twitch. But really, I just like to liken it to horsepower. Like my legs just need to be able to be hit with a fucking baseball bat and be like, no worries, keep moving forward. Um, that like it's just more and it's slower and it's probably more focused on heavier lift, maybe coming more from like a powerlifting side of things than
Mm-hmm.
finishing with maybe what like a marathon block would look like versus say if a marathon you might start quite light and build up to heavier as you go through the block and then you would sort of taper it down as you peak in your running volume
Yeah.
where I would be like I would want to be doing peak running for the ultra and still being able to knock out quite high volume lower weight sets for my ultra, if that makes sense.
Okay. Some things off the top of my head that I could think of are these helpful exercises like
Hmm.
stair climbers?
Yeah, but I wouldn't put that in strength.
Okay, that would be more of a
That I'd use that as like a training stimulus. Yeah.
okay, cool. What about like things like I know you're just talking about then like really building that strength in your legs and stuff like that. Would things like sled pushes and
Hmm.
things like that be really helpful?
For sure. Yeah, I think I'm a big fan of anything functional. So yeah, sled pushes, sled pulls, anything single leg. So talking about like single leg Bulgarians or single leg pogos or single leg box jumps, anything explosive single leg. Yeah, huge fan of.
Okay, cool. And then what about things like are there exercises people could do for maybe some ankle mobility, ankle strengthening, because so
Mm.
you don't have like really weak ankles in case you do hit a rock or something?
Yeah, so I'm always doing this is actually interesting because like I've bought a couple of different bits of kit. I'm always doing like ankle mobility, so circles, like
Yep.
clockwise, counterclockwise. Next is like cricket, like put a cricket ball in the arch of your foot, which is like part of my rehab at the moment,
Mhm.
and just sort of rolling it around. That sort of strengthens everything. Um, the next will be strengthening your tibula, so the muscle that runs up the front of your shin.
It's
So
like some
doing
tib raises.
tib raises, exactly that. And then obviously you want to support your calves. Right, I know we missed that last time, but
We cannot miss it again.
cannot miss it again. Calves, 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 calves.
Do your calves, guys, please. Dear God.
This will be the calf episode. We have to do a whole episode dedicated to calves now. I like to think of it as like I'm trying to strengthen the whole pylon. So everything
Yeah.
down from my knee all the way down to my ankle and then obviously my foot. I've just bought an axis board. So think about it as like a wooden plate that matches your foot, and then there's like a little balance beam underneath it. And like if you put your weight on the left hand side, it rocks to the left. If you put your
Okay,
weight on
yep.
the right hand side, it rocks to the right. So obviously the goal is to keep everything stable, and it sort of strengthens all the little muscles in your foot. There's that, and then I'm starting to do some research into, and I've known about his stuff for ages, but I haven't. It's just one of those things. Just one thing too many. The knees over toes stuff.
I was
Mm,
just about to, I nearly said to you, I was nearly going to be like, wait, let me guess who you're about to talk about.
mm,
Guys, you have to get into the knees over toes guy on socials. He has programs. Nick and I are
mm.
huge into it. Love it. His big one is the because when you were about to say the access board, it made me think about it. It's like a ramp that you can
Yep.
change the
Slant
levels
board.
of.
Yep. I've
Slant board.
ordered one of them as well. Yeah.
So good. So we have a slant board as well, and I love it. And people always look at you so weird in the gym when you pull
Mm,
it out because it's just like this random plank of wood with like a hinge on the bottom.
yeah.
But yeah, look into that, guys. So cool, so amazing, and really great for ankle and knee mobility and stuff like that. Sorry, go on.
No,
I got
no,
excited.
no. Sold it perfectly. But important caveat: accessory movement to actual strength work. If you cannot just rely on any of those one things, like you need to be doing your squats, doing your Romanians, doing your deadlifts,
Yes.
Bulgarians, all of these things to strength and your core work as well, obviously, to strengthen your whole body. Everything we just sort of mentioned is, I guess, ankle, foot, knee specific, which is really important in trail running.
Yes, very important. And just back on the slant board, guys, you can do calf stuff on it too.
Hmm.
Lots of calf things you can
Lots
do
of
on
calf. Yep.
it.
Calf, calf, calf.
Calf, calf, calf. So yeah, the slant board is a bit like, when you are at the gym and they've got like a wedge for doing squats and stuff. And like
Hmm.
I really benefit from squatting with a wedge, and I actually got that from Samantha. She told me that just how my body is made up, I'd actually probably benefit really well from having my heels raised a little bit.
Hmm.
And so I actually love getting the slant board out and changing the degree of the slant so that I can get a really deep squat and stuff.
Hmm.
And it's really cool. You can do some cool stuff on it. So look into it, guys. He has a really cool program online. And some really cool videos and stuff. And it's really helped Nick with all of his knee rehab over the years with football. So,
Yep.
yeah, love it. Number 10.
Arrive healthy.
And what do you mean by that, Matt? Talk to us.
Just arrive healthy. Don't arrive healthy mentally and physically. Yeah, like I think that is more just a nod to myself to remember, like, no matter how bad it wasn't as bad as 2026.
Yeah. The expectations thing was also, I feel like mentally you probably arrived a little bit healthier than a normal one because you're not like, as opposed to Cozzy say, there was no huge expectation on you to do like insane, crazy times, which I really think that some people should get out there and just do some things for fun and not have a specific time.
It's so not even a thing in the trail running community. Like, no one did I speak to. People who went faster than me, people who went slower than me. Like, what time did you do it in? It was just
Yeah.
like, did you get it done? I'm like, got it done. I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, that's the conversation.
Yeah. I feel like that mindset shift is changing a lot in road running at the moment. A lot of people are talking about, doing things for fun and doing things that are a bit silly or not necessarily always going for a goal time.
Mm.
And I think that's what running should be about. Go do something for fun. And I think maybe if you want to dip your toe into doing some trail running, maybe that's a good excuse to do something fun that's no
Trail
pressure.
running is the most fun, honestly. Like, even for our city girlies who don't want to go out there and get their shoes dirty, I promise you, you do it once and you're like, I'm never going back to Centennial Park. I'm never doing the Brisbane River Run again. Like, once you get out there, you're just going to be like, I get it.
It's so interesting. I think this is where you and I differ so much, and I get what you're saying 100%. I really do. But I do also feel like I'm someone who really thrives with people around me. Like I froth Centennial on a busy day. Like that's my favorite time to go. And the thing that scares me the most about trail running is being alone. And
Sure.
our amazing athlete, Isabella, she went out, she did her first 100K, absolutely incredible performance. But she posted this video of herself out with a head torch on, and it was just her in the wilderness, like in the bush, what do you want to call it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, my anxiety could not. I'd be freaking out that I was going the wrong way.
But that's also 16 hours into a 100K ultra. That's not a normal Saturday long run. Like,
True.
Time and place. Like, she didn't run the head torch the whole fucking prep. Like
I forget you don't actually have to run at night. You can run during the day.
I don't even prescribe unless I have an athlete who is particularly anxious and they have someone to go with. I don't prescribe any nighttime running or head torch running. But if you want to go really, really early in the morning, you can before sunrise. But it's not a mandatory thing.
Yeah. I think I just need to look for maybe some trails that are busy with people. Well,
during the day, I do understand the anxiety that might come, especially for female runners.
Yes.
Go in a group. Like, the trail running is like, the paces are so different. So if someone's normally a couple of minutes quicker than you, like, it's the great equaliser. Like, you will be fine. Go in a group, go together. I do think probably the other big limiting factor for someone like you, George, is like, trails aren't close for you. Like, they're quite close for me.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to go. And I get that. But even if you're doing it once a month, once every 4 or 5 weeks, you get your group of friends, you go, and then most of the trails around sort of the Sydney area, you probably end up at a coffee shop. So
you're
not even really that
Yeah.
far from bloody civilization. You'll be right.
There, there are some awesome trails super close to the city. Like I have done a few of them, very small sections of them, but one of them I did really enjoy was the like the Manly Coast
Yeah,
Trail.
great one.
It was really beautiful, and that I feel like that is quite technical compared to like a fire trail where it was a lot of like stepping stones and stairs that were like half falling apart and like water and things like that. So I did enjoy that, and I need to remind myself, and these episodes that we do on the podcast do remind me actually it is fun and it is something I do enjoy doing and I should do it more
And it'll make you a
often.
better road runner too. Stronger
There you
legs.
go. Okay. That's a great thing to end on. I think we have an hour and 10 minutes, which is an awesome long run for you guys. We will save our listener questions for next week. But this has been episode 68 of Beyond the Finish Line, Matt's guide to trail running and getting into trail racing, which we absolutely love. If you don't already follow us, make sure you head over to Instagram, and it is Beyond the Finish Line _pod. Head over to wherever you get your podcasts, whether that is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or even if you want to watch us on YouTube, we are Beyond the Finish Line over there as well. Of course, if you want to be trained and coached by either Matt, Ant, or Zoe, our wonderful new coach, make sure you head to performanceproject.com.au. We would love to help you out. We'd love to get your goals happening. But this, as I said, has been episode 68. So thanks so much for listening.
Hey, Root.
Bye.